Evil Dead Burn. Directed by Sebastien Vanicek. Probably butchering the last name, I do apologize. Whose only feature-length credit is 2023's Infested. Written by himself as well as Florent Bernard, who's done nothing of note besides working on Infested with our director, starring Souheila, Yacoub, I know I'm butchering her last name, who appeared in last year's The Carpenter's Son, Hunter Doohan, known for Wednesday and Daredevil Born Again, and Luciane Buchanan, best known for The Night Agent. So anybody that knows me knows that I am a huge Evil Dead fan. It is my overall favorite film series. I even got Ash fucking Williams on my arm here. So the fact that it's continuing without Bruce will always be disappointing, because Bruce is Evil Dead. I still love that it's continuing. And one of the best things about this series is that it can do everything. It can be supernatural horror. It could be just straight horror. It could be comedy. It could be horrific comedy, horror comedy, comedic horror, however you want to order the words. It could be violent horror. It could be mean horror. Because when people say Evil Dead Burn is mean, they're not kidding. Evil Dead Burn is mean. The movie starts out pretty hot and heavy with Deadite Jessica, who, as from the trailer, everyone was assuming it's the same woman from the opening of Evil Dead Rise, and it definitely is. So, which immediately connects Rise with Burn, which is fantastic. So it starts out hot and heavy, and then it slows down a little bit, but then shit hits the fan one more time, but then it slows down to a bit of a crawl. But once the main chaos begins, it does not let up for a second. Now, I've seen a lot of people complaining about the blood and the gore, but I've seen more. I was expecting this to be a legitimate, just pure, insane gore fest, but it's not. There is a lot of blood, there is a lot of gore, a lot of violence, a lot of mean violence, but the 2013 Evil Dead had more blood. The original Evil Dead 2, I feel, had more blood. So, to anybody bitching and moaning that this is too gory, too bloody, you've clearly never seen an Evil Dead movie before. Same thing with some people going, oh, this movie isn't subtle at all. Like, you've clearly never seen anything Evil Dead, even the TV show. This series was never subtle. It was always balls to the wall, whether it was with horror or with comedy, or with a mix of both. That's the beauty of the Evil Dead. Something I will say, though, the chaos that once it begins and it continues for the remainder of the movie, is that there's like no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like mean to be mean. And, honestly, overall, that's okay. Because, like I said, I like the fact that all the Evil Dead movies are a little bit different. They're their own things. But it's like the violence, the comedy, there is some dark comedy in this, and it's like a nice little break from like the pure insanity that's going on, and then boom, random comedic moment, and it's like, ha ha ha, that's awesome. And then it just keeps getting more violent. So I feel like there's just like no rhyme or reason to the insanity of the Deadites. They're looking for something. I won't say what if you haven't seen it, but it's like the people you're in, the people you're possessing, are family of the person who had the thing you're looking for. Wouldn't you know, at least, where his stuff is stored to go where to look? But whatever. One of the big things with Burn is that it really does tie everything together. Not only in the opening scene, but there's also an after credits scene that ties things even more together, which is insane. And I saw a lot of people bitching about that too, about how, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that there is lore behind it. So if you know the series, you know that what happens isn't just nonsensical. It makes sense according to the mythology. But it ties in to the original trilogy. It ties in to the 2013 film. Some of it is very, very, very subtle. Some of it is blink and you'll miss it, like Bruce Campbell's cameo in this one. It's just a picture, but it's blink and you'll miss it. But it ties it all together, confirming that every single Evil Dead property, from the Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2013, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Rise, Burn, it's all one universe. It's all one thing. And to me, that gives me a teeny tiny bit of hope that maybe we will see Bruce come back one day. And maybe we'll see Mia return, and Beth return, and we'll just see a one big team up to like finish it all, you know? I won't get my hopes up too much, especially after Bruce's cancer diagnosis, but you never know. You never know. Now, to find out how everything ties together, you got to see the movie or watch another review where people spoil things. I don't like spoiling new movies. But to me, as an Evil Dead fan, it is worth seeing. There are some moments that are like a little head scratching. It can be a little slow at times. It can be a little nonsensical at times. But as an Evil Dead fan, as a diehard Evil Dead fan, it's still a solid entry into the series. I give Evil Dead Burn an A-. Thank you for watching Fatman Inc Horror. Leave a like if you enjoyed and a comment to discuss your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to see more reviews of horror movies new and old. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.